All right. So, Niecy Nash. This is your first time in Chicago?
Oh, no, I love Chicago.
You love
No,
Chicago?
no, I've been here a couple times. I don't have my Garrett's popcorn yet, but.
You got to get that.
Oh, yeah, I got to get that.
You got to get that. So let's get this in. First of all, let's start with I read your book. Give me the name of your book. I'm horrible with that. Give me the title of your book.
We'll start with my book is called It's Hard to Fight Naked.
Okay, so I read your book, and it because it is hard to fight, because people get slippery and start squirming around, and you start groping at things. It is hard to fight naked, but it's also hard to fight and make it in the entertainment business. In the business of comedy and movies and TV. Tell folk out there, a little bit of your story of how you made it, because a lot of times, sometimes struggle and adversity make things funny.
Okay, well, the short version of that is, at 5 years old, I saw the most gorgeous black woman I had ever seen in my entire life. And I said, Grandmama, who is that? And she said, baby, that's Lola Falana. And in that moment, I felt like my destiny, bam, was stamped on the canvas in my imagination. I was like, ooh, I want to be black, fabulous, and on TV. And, of course, nobody believed. And everybody was like, oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's so cute. But, that's why they call it self-esteem, because I didn't need nobody to believe what the man told me to do. Okay? And so in how did I get started? There was one point when I was playing breakup to makeup with my ex-husband, and I said, oh, and now I'm on my own, and what am I going to do? And I got a baby, and it just came back to me, that 5-year-old vision. I said, I'm an actress. Mind you, I had never been on anything. That's not the point.
All right.
The point is, I already knew what my destiny was. So I picked up the phone, I called the casting director. I said, hey, this is Niecy Nash. I'm broke, I got a baby, and I need a job. And he said, be down here at 3 o'clock. And I said, okay. And I went to this audition, and it was horrible when I walked in, because, in Los Angeles, if you're an actor, they play the who are you with game in terms of who is your agent, because we want to make sure we got the best agent in the room. Who are you with? Oh, wow, great. Who are you with? And then when they asked me, I said, myself. Because I didn't have an agent, I didn't have a manager, I didn't have nothing. But, I faked it until I made it. You know what I mean?
You got guts, though.
Yeah. So I went in, I did my tidbit, and I did my audition, and it was a producer session, 15 people in the room, and the director said, thank you. And I said, you're welcome. And he said, thank you. And I said, don't mention it. And he said, thank you, you may go. And I said, oh, y'all are dismissing me? I said, well, did you pick me? Okay, don't use me as an example right now, actors, of what not to do. Okay, don't do that. I just didn't know any better, and it just kind of worked in my favor, and the man kept trying to put me out. I got angry, and I said, I'm telling on everybody in this room, because this is awful. I drove all the way from the ghetto to get down here, and this is ridiculous. I'm telling on you, and I'm telling on you.
You snitched on her.
And he said, she's adorable. Where did you find her? And my first job was in a movie called Boys on the Side with Whoopi Goldberg and Drew Barrymore, and that was that role that I went in there and auditioned for.
It was sort of like, you didn't have any experience to tell you that was not what you were supposed to do. Do you think that kind of helped you a little bit?
You know what? The 3 words, honest to God, that I have lived by in my life are no matter what. And once I believed the thing, I'm telling you what, I would really feel sorry for people when they didn't get it. When they would be like, oh, sorry, we're going to go another way. I would be like, oh, okay. I feel bad for you. And then people look at you like, you feel bad for me.
Right.
I'm the one casting you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, I feel bad for you, because all of this is going to be something. And so when I was going out there, I was very brazen. I think I'm the only one in Hollywood who still has my real teeth, at least out of the girls anyway. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I just...
Because people think everyone in Hollywood's teeth are not real.
No, most of them aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine are.
Everyone has British teeth in Hollywood secretly.
Oh, yeah, they got it going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I just live my truth, and, I auditioned even when I was 9 months pregnant, and, you know what I mean? And I kept it pushing. Now, mind you, when I started off, though, I wanted to be a very serious actress. I did not want to do comedy. I never said I wanted to be funny.
Wait a minute, but you are hilarious. Some people, you can just smell funny on people, and you're one of those people. How are you trying to be?
But let me tell you why. Because in my family, comedy was not celebrated. Hey, they didn't love it, okay? if you don't sit down, girl, I'm gonna slap the black off of you, knock it off, was what I heard in my house, okay? I got pinched in church. I got talks too much on my report card, so I got in trouble. So nobody was sitting around like, Eddie Murphy and the Clumps. Hercules, Hercules. No, they didn't love it like that. It was like, this girl is always doing something. Sit down.
You're doing too much.
So they didn't celebrate it. So I wanted to be Cicely Tyson. I wanted to be Viola Davis. I wanted to be Kimberly Elise. I wanted to be a thespian.
Right.
Was where I was heading. And every time I went into an audition, I couldn't book anything. They would be like, you're hilarious. And I would get offended because comedy wasn't celebrated in my house. And my mother, we went through a very tragic experience. And the only thing I knew, I didn't know, when people are grieving, you don't know how to help people. You don't have money to pay for this. I didn't know what to do, but I knew I was funny. Mm-hmm. So I would go it was a horrible tragedy. My brother was killed. My mother gets in the bed and says, I'm never getting back out. So I would go every day, stand at the foot of my mother's bed. I would do jokes, stories, tap dance, pop lock. My mother goes from laying down in the bed to sitting up. I got my peanuts and my water. Go on and do your rendition of things. So one day I go to her house and she's not in the bed. I'm like, Ma, she's like, we're in here. I'm like, who is we? I looked around that corner. I went across the street and got Miss Brown and Miss Sadie. I told them you was funny. Get that karaoke microphone and tell these people some jokes.
So that was the first show.
My first show was, how's everybody doing in the living room? And as I was standing up there, that's when I realized comedy was a gift. I go outside and I say, as I'm standing there, I feel like I hear a voice say, Niecy, don't be a selfish heifer. It's some other people suffering in the world too. Pack that up and go spread it around. Mm-hmm. So I went outside and said, I'm Niecy Nash and I'm funny. And people were like, get over here, let me get you a job. Mind you, speaking of Reno 911, and I applaud those of you like this, you who did this beautiful improv scene. I had never done improv. I never did sketch. And when they called and said, can you do sketch? Because originally it was supposed to be a sketch show. I said, of course. And then I hung up the phone and called somebody and said, what the hell is sketch? What I got to do? And when I went down there, and this is my gift to you, is be comfortable in the skin you in, because it will get you further than trying to be in somebody else's lane. I go down there, you got one girl in the corner who was doing her vocal warm-ups. Mama, papa. She was doing her whole thing. Then another girl was stretching. I was sitting down reading the magazine. I said, well, hell, should I get up and do something? What is going on? And I knocked on the door, and our cast. Then I didn't know these people. I didn't know Ben Garant, Tom Lennon, Carrie Kinney. I didn't know the creators of Reno and Fox, because we were originally at Fox, now Comedy Central. I knocked on that door. I said, are y'all about to get this dog and pony show started? Because I got somewhere to be. And of course, everybody got mad at first. Really? Well, what did you? I said, yes. I got to get my kids to Chuck E. Cheese by 7 o'clock.
Real stuff.
Real stuff. I said, the last time I got there late, they jumped on the mouse, his head fell off, and the man didn't even come back out. So I got to go.
You gonna hear something funny? That was my first job out of high school. I was actually Chuck E. Cheese.
Did my kids jump on you and your head fell off?
That's funny. And the reason I got fired, because this kid tried to punch Chucky in the stomach, and Chucky's stomach is down with my downstairs part. So I'd like, you do a block, and I hit him in the face. My manager saw, out of there.
And there you have it. I'm sorry.
Let me answer this question. This is not a serious question, but just this is about comedy and being black and black people in comedy. Now, this whole hubbub about Keenan on SNL, and he's not going to wear drag anymore. A lot of people are getting mad because when they're going to have a black woman on Saturday Night Live since Ellen Cleghorn. I haven't seen a sister on SNL. Well, she's mixed, so that counts. Maya Rudolph, that counts. Uh-huh. But what do you think about, black women not being on SNL or finding their way in comedy?
Well, I think that you're going to have challenges in whatever you do, but you have to, and the good thing about the day and age that we live in now is that when you create your content, it is not like back in the day when I started where you have to do a mail out and invite people to see you down at the Improv and hope that there's an agent or somebody who can book you. You can put all your content online. You can have your own channels on YouTube. You can become a Twitter phenomenon. You can get your name out there in other ways. And unfortunately, you kind of gotta get a lot of buzz around yourself if people really aren't looking for what it is you do. You know what I mean?
You have to show 'em.
I don't think that with the black women in comedy that a man on Saturday Night Live ever has to wear a dress unless they trying to be Medea.
Right.
You know, and Tyler Perry and whatever that is. I just don't think they have to do it because the women are out there. You know, they exist. Come on, Lauren Michaels.
Get it together. Get it together, Lauren Myers. We got a young lady here in Chicago, Brianna Baker. She deserves to be on SNL. So let's get into your book because
My book. It's Hard to Fight Naked.
Hard to Fight Naked.
Literally and figuratively.
Even when you're wet, it's even harder.
Oh well.
So
okay.
and then when I was thinking about that, I was going thumbing through it. I'm like, man, she's kind of like the Steve Harvey, but for ladies of this book. So was that your plan, or tell people is it a relationship book because you're not Dr. Phil, you're not pretending like you're some expert, you're coming from your heart.
No, I'm more like Dr. Feel Good.
Dr. Feel Good,
yeah.
Okay.
And I would say no. This is I didn't even I have not yet read Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, which is Steve Harvey's book, but. And I don't claim to be an expert. I claim to be a woman who has experienced almost anything and everything when it comes to love and matters of the heart. And the reason I wrote the book is because we struggle the most with the very thing we were created for. Love is the hardest thing to manage. You can get your kids over here, you can talk to your boss, you can move around, you can do all of these things. But if your heart is broken, if you're, in love, if you're if you're in lust, all of a sudden we just become unraveled in so many areas. And so I just wanted to invite people to think differently. You know what I mean? And once I decided I don't like when people say, oh, I fell in love with him, because I don't want to fall anywhere. I want to stand up fully in it as a grown-ass woman, making decisions about my life and my future that make sense. And so I wrote the book for dialogue. It started off me having matchmaker parties in my house, and Sherry Shepherd from The View met her husband at one of my matchmaker parties. And as we continued this dialogue about relationships with my girlfriends, it turned into me doing a web series called Let's Talk About Love. And then Let's Talk About Love turned into the book, It's Hard to Fight Naked. So the book is fun, it's funny, but it does have real takeaway.
So are there any bullet points or some tips that you would share with people?
Well, I would say the book now it is for you if you in the middle. I see y'all all hugged up, holding hands. Hey. The book is for you at whatever stage you're in your relationship. Married, single, looking, you know what I mean? The beginning of the book kind of talks about a simple principle of being what you want to see. You should be what you want to see because inevitably you will attract what you are. So if a whole bunch of crazy people are coming in and out of your life, you get up in the morning, you look in the mirror and you say, good morning, crazy.
Because you're probably crazy attracting crazy.
And you're attracting every single thing that you are. And then when you get ready for the substantial and significant, one of the major takeaways of the book is that you should date for your priority versus your preference. Did I carry you too fast?
A little
bit.
They
said, wait, say what now? Say what now?
Do it again.
Your priority is going to get your needs met. Your preference is going to keep you doing the same thing over and over and over again. You know what I mean? My husband, for example, his preference, if you asked him back then, was he liked the type of girl that was maybe a cross between Michelle Obama and Kenya Moore.
That's a
cross.
Mix.
He wanted you real dark, dark brown, tall, maybe 5'10". He wants you to look like you ran track at FAMU.
Yes.
Huh? All right. Wiry arms, real thin. Don't wear a lot of makeup. Don't have a lot of hair. Keep it real, real simple, basic lifestyle. He wanted something very settled, maybe a teacher or paralegal, something. Something ain't going. So you can be home at night, you know what I mean? But when he decided that his needs weren't being met and decided to get the needs met and date for the priority, what is it that I'm looking for? What is the character? What is the spirit? What is the gift that I'm looking for in my rib tip? Hey!
Talk about it.
He got, a very bite-sized package, huh? All curves, no wire, huh? The color of coffee with heavy cream.
Okay.
Okay. And all of this right here was a bonus. So And he couldn't be happier.
Yep.
He could not be happier.
And
you know what I mean?
Fun.
And we have a good time. And I worked out a lot of my book between him and my ex-husband. You know, between the ex and the next, I learned a lot.
Now talk about that. Talk about
girlfriend.
that.
A BJ a day will keep the divorce attorney away. Okay?
Ooh.
That's all. Listen, I'm trying to help somebody.
A day?
Oh, yeah, I give them out every day. Is that too much information for
Hell
Chicago
no.
Ideas Week?
No. Nah, hey, whatever, man.
Sorry.
How much money did we raise for kids with Susan up here cursing? Who cares?
Hey, you know what? I'm going to give you $1 just because I said that.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean...
They all should give me $1.
Hey, that's
Boom.
right.
So what do you think is another tip within, you know, having somebody, meeting that person that first of all won't get on your nerve?
Well, the truth of the matter is you have to know what you want. I was an internet dater too.
What is like Match.com stuff?
Oh, like all of them, like Match.com, like women with stretch marks and weave.org. You know, all of them. Whatever website they had, I was like, yes, let me find me a man.
Right.
And I used my real face.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing of it is, and I liken it to what you just asked me, even when I was internet dating, you have to be very sure about what you want. Because the minute you start to deviate from what you want, because he cute, because she got great boobs, because, you know, this, that, and the other, then you end up in something a little further down the road and you're miserable because it was never what you really wanted in the first place. So even when I internet dated, I'll give you this tip. What you do if you're dating online, once you figure out how the site you're on is set up, you put a piece of tape over where the face pops up and you read the profile first, okay? So you read the profile. Smoker, 2 kids. Okay, how much alimony does that mean he paying? Wait a minute, he got child support. Well,
Do the math.
You do the math. Mm-hmm. You figure out what he's saying. Then when you go back to the page, this is important, internet daters. You got to check and see if there is a lie between the profile and what the pictures show by looking at the background first. Don't take the tape off the face. You look at the background, because if they say, I'm well-traveled, and every picture is a selfie in the bathroom, like, stop it. You're not going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. If you see every picture of them, where you look at the bottom part and you can see them in shorts and flip-flops, like you don't got one suit. You ain't went nowhere where you got to get dressed up.
You got no clothes.
You got a lot of friends, but you in every picture alone. What is going on?
So you can become like a little detective.
Oh, yeah. But then if there's a discrepancy, you pass. So you got 2 ways to get off the ride. If the profile doesn't line up with what you're looking for, pass. If you like the profile, check the background. If it doesn't match up, you pass. Because what happens is we look at the face and we like, damn. Then you like, oh. Now you go to the profile. Okay, well, he is cute.
You let things slide.
You let it slide. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you let it slide, and then you end up in a horrible situation later because you don't let it slide.
All right, let me get real with you. Now, I just got dumped. I know, like 8 weeks ago. And 2 days ago was horrible. This book sounds like it's...
I'm sorry.
It's all right, I'll get over it. Now, hopefully. Now, this book seems geared for the ladies. What advice do you have for the bros?
No, it's for everyone.
Is it for everybody?
It's not just for girls.
Can you just switch it around?
No. It's not just for girls. So, and also, too, even my husband wrote the epilogue in the book. It is not just for girls. I'm an equal opportunity lover. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Hey.
I love everything and everybody. Gender is not gender specific. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? So if you need help in that area and you want to laugh and you want to enjoy the journey and figure out where you are, I would tell anybody to get the book.
All right, you will be signing the book and having them out there after this?
I'm going to be signing the book after this. Oh, can I tell you guys another place you can find me after this? I'm excited about this. I forgot to even mention it. But I have a new job coming up. Thank those of you who clap because you watch Reno. I appreciate it. I have a new job, a dark comedy that I'm doing on HBO. It's called Getting On. And just in case you don't recognize me, because HBO scrubbed me down, honey, I'm the black one, okay?
So you're not looking like this.
HBO said, take off that hair, take off them eyelashes, take off that spank. I said, say what now? Yeah, so it's a very different comedy for me, but we premiere right after the season finale of Boardwalk Empire, November 24th. So if you have HBO, check it out.
And you know what? If you don't have HBO, get somebody's Xfinity code. You do it that way. Niecy Nash, thank you so much for coming down. Guys, give us Chicago
Thank
love
you for
to Niecy
having
Nash.
me.
She'll be out there after this signing her book.
Oh yeah, meet me out there. I'm gonna be signing my book right out
Take
there.
your picture, get a hug, and all that good stuff.
Oh yes, pictures, hugs, signing books right out there. I'm gonna see you out there in a few minutes.
All right, guys. Of course, we have Miss Kelly Hagler.
Okay, I'm going that way, so I can meet you out there.
Yeah, give up for Niecy Nash.